Harry Hamlin, he's promoting One November Yankee at the 59 East 59, am I saying that correctly, theater in Manhattan until December 29th. Harry Hamlin, welcome to my show.
Jenny McCarthy, my God, it's been too long. How are you?
It has been too long. You guys are like one of my favorite couples, as you guys know, and you know how much I adore your wife.
I know that, and she adores you right back, and I also adore you.
I know, I adore you too, and I love how your marriage, it kind of reminds me of me and Donnie's. We're like, you guys actually like and love each other.
We do.
Go figure.
We groove on each other. That's true, and we have for like 29 years or something like that. I don't know. I don't do the math. I'm terrible with math.
You know what? The math doesn't even matter after a while. I go, as long as you still like waking up next to the person and can smell their morning breath and love them anyway, you're doing good.
You know, her morning breath happens to be really sweet. I have never once, ever in 29 years noticed any morning breath other than something sweet on her. How about that?
She's so lucky. That's amazing, unless you're lying.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm telling you the absolute truth. This girl does not stink.
Wow, I'm like a dragon in the morning. I've got fake eyelashes stuck to my cheek. My breath stinks. My hair's like sticking out in one direction. But
no, that's me. You're describing the husband in this.
Let me talk about your work first, and then I want to talk more about love. Describe One November Yankee.
Well, we're playing off Broadway at 59E59. They call it that, but it's at 59 East 59th Street in New York, and it's a two-hander, two people, myself and Stephanie Powers. Stephanie is we play two sets of brothers and sisters, and we're three sets of brothers and sisters. So we have three different iterations of relationships between brothers and sisters. So the first one, I am an artist, and I am recreating a plane crash that happened in New Hampshire, a plane that was never found, in fact, Piper Cub, and I'm at MoMA, and it's my first big New York exhibition. And then the second iteration is the actual plane crash that took place 5 years before that inspired my artist self to create this plane crash installation of art. And the third iteration is a brother and a sister who've been estranged for many years because of their brother had been killed in a commercial plane crash, and they couldn't handle it, hiking through the woods of New Hampshire and stumbling by accident upon the wreckage of the plane. So it's three sets of brothers and sisters who have been estranged for one reason or other and are finding a way to reconnect. Exactly.
That sounds amazing for you to be in, number one, and also relatable in so many aspects in this time of my life, of being able to reconnect maybe with family members that I've yet to reconnect with over the years.
You know, my sister came to see it the other day, and she and I didn't grow up together. She grew up in New York. She was from my father's first wife, and she came, and it was very interesting to see her afterwards and talk about brothers and sisters and how we, though not grown up together, have been kind of estranged simply because of geographical distance. She's been in New York, and I grew up on the West Coast, so it was actually great.
Yeah, it can bring up some conversation amongst, and make you think, maybe I should make that phone call. Maybe I should reconnect.
Absolutely. You know, I'm looking at you now. I'm on the screen, and you are beautiful. I'm seeing you're gorgeous.
Harry?
No, look at you.
Let me put on some lip gloss.
No.
Now how do I look? Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. I only have 700 lights on me to make me look somewhat decent because Harry Hamlin was coming in. I was very excited.
No, you look great.
How long have you been acting, Harry?
Professionally, since my first professional job was in 1976, and I played the boy in Equus. And if you know that play, you know that the boy in Equus has to spend the last 25 minutes of the play completely naked in front of the audience. And that was my first gig ever.
Oh my God, Harry.
Yeah, so that kind of made me okay with just about everything else after that.
I bet you had to be pretty confident too, I would imagine.
Well, I'm not sure confidence really came into it. I did want them to put the heat on in the theater every night. It was a big theater, 1,600 people at the Geary Theater in San Francisco. So,
are you talking like naked where you could see your dong naked?
Absolutely, totally, 100%, totally naked, and there were 1,600 people. That's 3,200 eyeballs, all of which descended down. I could see every eyeball in the house go go down to my private part as I took my clothes off.
Were you ever worried that you might get a boner at any point?
Because I
you were
did
young.
well. And if you know the play, I get naked, and so does the girl in the play. She gets naked, and then I try to make love to her, and I can't, which is because sort of the theme of the play. And then these horses it's taking place in a stall, and the horses see that I can't do it, and it's a horrible story. I blind the horses anyway. But yeah, she was naked, I was naked, and she was really pretty, and we were young, and there were pheromones running around.
For sure.
It never happened, but I did think about it from time to time. Yeah.
I bet. I mean, I was on set. I was on Playboy sets at 19, and that to me was young, to never have been nude in front of anybody but my high school sweetheart, and then go to LA and had to be naked for a video for Playboy in front of all of these people. And I'm like, I mean, it's terrifying. But then it does make you, I feel like, more confident in roles going forwed.
Absolutely, because, once you've done that, you've exposed everything, right? At least everything physically. And I think it did allow me to climb higher mountains after that.
Looking back at your career, where do you go God damn it, that was the best time? Which job?
I love every job that I do. Like right now, I'm having a blast doing this job. But I would have to say, now this is pretty cliche, right? But nevertheless, it happens to be true, which was I did Hamlet at the McCarter Theater in Princeton when I was 31. And I would have to say that was an extreme highlight. The opening night of Hamlet was, for me, probably the highlight of my career.
So you like the stage more than the set?
Oh yeah, absolutely like the stage more than the set. As a matter of fact, when I trained at Yale, and then I went to the American Conservatory Theater for my Master of Fine Arts, and when I left there, I said I will never do film. I will never deign to do film or television.
Wow.
And actually turned down the first 3 things I was offered, which kind of got Hollywood interested.
Kind of like chicks when you turn them down, they just want you more.
Well, it seemed to work that way, because I turned the first 3 things down, and they just came back with bigger and bigger things. And finally, I was offered movie, this movie that Stanley Donen directed. He directed Singing in the Rain. He's a great director, and he offered me the starring role opposite George C. Scott in this movie, and I turned it down originally, and then my mother said, and I was living with my mother at the time. I was quite young, and my mother said, "Listen," she said, "I want to meet George C. Scott, so you got to do this movie, because, and she convinced me to do it.
Oh, and you did. I love it. And you made her happy. I want to plug it again. One November Yankee. You guys can go see Harry Hamlin at the 59 East 59th Theater in Manhattan until December 29th. I might go with my husband because we're going to be in New York. I would love to come see you. Before, I know I don't know how much that time I have with you, but I have to dive in again to Lisa, since I consider her my favorite housewife. I love her dancing. Tell me she does that dancing for you, that crazy ass dance that she does.
Somebody showed me. I had not seen her dancing, because she is followed on my phone, but I'd never look at it, and right. I've been told never to look at it, and ever since she did Howard Stern years ago, and the people said, "Do whatever you do not listen to her interview with Howard Stern," which I didn't. I took their advice, and I've taken advice since then not to follow her or not to look at her, what she's doing on Instagram. But somebody on one of these shows showed me her dancing the other day, and all I could say was, when I get home, I insist that she does that naked, because it was. Well, I was blushing. I'm watching my own wife on a telephone dancing in our bedroom with her clothes on, and I'm blushing.
Totally.
So
she's a hot, seductive wife. No wonder you wanted to get home and bang her. I would too if I were you. I had her on as my co-host. I know I'm a little dirty, but you know what? If you can handle Lisa, you can handle me.
That's not dirty. No, that is right on the money, baby.
She said you guys have a healthy, fun sex life. She talked about strap-ons. She got in trouble for talking about it. From
You know,
the
that's
show.
something that never happened. So I'm not sure where that must have been. That must have been with some other guy before me, because I tell you, I'm being absolutely dead on honest. I have never even seen a strap-on. So
Wow, you should come over to my house. I have tons of them.
really, well, okay.
Yes.
You know, as long as you show them to me with lots of good music playing in the background, I'm good. Oh.
Yeah, my husband's kind of really like, what? But it's true. I'm a Scorpio, so we have all those fun toys.
I'm a Scorpio too, but I don't have the fun toys. Look, she's my toy. What can I tell you?
Well, that's true. I mean, where do you guys go? How do you guys get over? And we talk about this a lot on my show, so don't think I'm just pointing you out. But I talk about how Donnie and I get through things. If there's a bump, how we communicate or do these alternate, types of therapy things we've learned. Where do you guys go? Is one a shutdowner, one a communicator? How do you guys deal with bumps?
Well, we started dealing with bumps very early on, and because I had been married a couple of times before, and I was not really in the mood to get married again. And so we spent 5 years kind of dancing around the idea of marriage and making it a long-term thing. And during that 5-year period, there were lots of bumps because I was coming off of an old relationship and she was coming off of an old relationship. So we did a lot of therapy. We had, I think, 2 or 3 different therapists. One wonderful woman named June, who's no longer with us, but she took us through the ways to get through those bumps, to smooth out those bumps, and then over the years, we've read lots of books about relationships. I still keep a copy of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Me too.
Close by,
Next to the bed.
So we listen to each other, Jenny. That's what it is. We listen.
Yeah. It seems like it's so simple, but if you're in a relationship, you can understand it's difficult because there is listening, and then there's really listening and hearing what the person's saying. And Donnie and I have done the same thing. We got into therapy right away before any bumps began and said, teach us how to go through them. And our marriage couldn't be better. And I think that we need to have a double date soon, Harry Hamlin, because we're running out of time. And I love your wife, and I love you. And Donnie and I, we'll come check you out of the play. You guys can also do that in Manhattan until December 29th. Get your tickets at 59 East 59.org. Congratulations. Please come back anytime, and much love to your dancing sexy wife, bitch.
Well, don't worry, I'll give her that. And thank you. You look fantastic, and I'm so glad to have been here.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Harry. Love you.
Love you.
We'll be right back, guys.